Namaste, welcome to KYG. June 9th, 2020, KYG, also known as Kaivalya Yoga Gurukulam, will be launching a whole host of new online programs, all related to yoga, Vedanta, under the broad canopy of the teachings of Sanatana Dharma, which is holistic, which applies to mind, body, and spirit. So in connection with that, we have been receiving a lot of questions. So I'm going to take one by one some of these simple questions and make sure to answer them. Beginner level yoga classes are very slow paced yoga classes. These are for absolute beginners in yoga. I'm going to assume that this person whom I cannot see has not done any exercise at all. Introducing them to exercise is one thing, introducing them to the traditional yoga practice is one thing. So in these classes, we are going to use props like these yoga blocks, yoga belts. We have these yoga bolsters. Now don't go about buying them as yet. As we come across it, I will let you know how you can use common household stuff in substitute for this. But if you can also, I will also help you locate where you can find these. What you definitely need is a regular yoga mat, not on the hard concrete floor or on a wooden floor. You need a mat or a blanket on which you can practice. Okay, we will also be using folding chairs like these for regular practice. So all this you learn as we go along. You don't have to pile up. Most of these are probably available at home in some form or the other. So we'll make use of that. But these are very slow paced. We're going to take one at a time. So in the course of 6 months to 8 months, you will have a database of, let's say, 20 poses that you would have learned. And that will help you understand your body, understand the movements, understand the breathing in the poses, and then prepare you for the next level. Anyone with a generally healthy fitness level, if you're able to climb stairs, 2 stories for instance, if you're able to walk about 5 kilometers without panting too much, things like that, you should be able to join a regular beginner's yoga class. Regarding age restrictions, I would caution if you are 70 years and older, try a couple of classes, because this age is not one thing that applies all. It depends on what's the fitness level, what you have been able to do at, or what you can do at this age. But generally speaking, if you are above 65 or 70, I would suggest try a few classes and see if it is a bit too much, then just don't do it. But having said that, please take advice from your medical practitioner whether you can do it and how far can you get into this yoga practice, because know that I cannot see you. I don't know who is in front of this camera. So you have to take responsibility for that part. Yes, they can. I would suggest children 8 years and above should be able to practice these kind of yoga. Anything less than that, I'm not sure how they will be able to tune into these classes, how long we can hold their attention, and also their bones are very, very soft. So any kind of formal exercise training is not necessary. This is the age for them to really run around and play and experience body in all its facets. But after 8 or 10 years is the right time. As they are entering puberty is the right time to get into a yoga practice. So children above 8 or 10 years, good time. You have to consult your medical practitioner, your doctor, and ask if you can join yoga classes. The beginners yoga classes, we are not going to be doing headstand and shoulder stands and all those topsy-turvy poses. We're going to start with simple breathing exercises, learning and understanding our body. So please take advice of your physical medical practitioner, your fitness instructor if you have one, and then try out a couple of classes and then see if you can safely proceed. The responsibility is entirely yours. For those of you who have practiced at least 6 months of regular yoga asanas, who are used to standing stretches, who have stretched their hamstrings, who have worked with their back and neck and shoulders, who are in a fairly good level of fitness. If you can walk and run 5 kilometers, if you have been doing other exercise programs, and especially, like I said, yoga for at least 6 months, then I think you are eligible to join intermediate to advanced level. I've kind of mixed these both because we will still use these kind of props even in the intermediate class. For those who are advanced, we'll do the same asanas without these props. So we'll see how that goes. Again, try out a few classes. If you feel the pace is too much or the intensity of the class is building too fast for you, go back to the previous class or just take a step back and take a break from the regular yoga classes, practice on your own and jump back. So it's a trial and error method. There is really no hard and fast rule as who can and who shouldn't. Intermediate yoga, advanced yoga, asanas I'm talking of, entirely depends on your fitness level. So young children, young adults from the age of 12, 13 onwards till 30, 35 can safely join, and provided they are in a generally good level of fitness. Again, if you have medical conditions, please check with your medical practitioner, like asthma and breathing problems. These are not therapeutic in nature. These are preventive in nature, all of these classes. So take that cautionary, take that advice, please. What preparations do you need? Just come on an empty stomach. These are going to be early morning when I do them, so I know I will be on an empty stomach. But if you're not able to find time in the mornings, and if you're doing it in the evening, make sure that you are at least had a 2-hour gap so your stomach is empty, because there'll be a lot of exercises. We'll be pulling our stomach in and learning to breathe through the lungs, so your stomach being empty will help a lot. Come with a yoga mat to the class. That is one basic thing that I would require for you to come. And other than that, just start off, and we'll see as the classes progress, we will see we need to get these blocks and belts for you. Wear loose clothing. Yeah, loose, comfortable, any fitness clothing should be good. If you're wearing tights, that's perfectly good as well, as long as they are stretchable and they're not going to tear or they don't cause discomfort. Your body should be able to move freely. That's most important. Okay. For those of you who are beginners, I would suggest start with 2 days a week. So you give time for the body to recoup, and then you begin to stretch again. In the initial 4 or 5 classes, you may not feel it. But then as you begin, even in the beginners classes, as intensity builds up, you'll need to take some time to just to meditate on what you learned, to practice perhaps another day. But I would ideally suggest do it 2 days a week, and that's how I'm going to take these classes. For the intermediate classes, however, assuming that you are in a good level of fitness, we will do at least 3 days a week, ideally every day. But when I do it 3 days a week, you have 2 other days to do other exercises if you're already into aerobics or running or swimming and all of that. So you can take into account all the other things in the other days. But Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, you spend a lot of time understanding the body, slowing down the body, the breath and the mind, and make a holistic practice that will supplement all your other fitness practices. The puja sessions at Kaivalya Yoga Gurukulam are a small representation of a very age-old tradition practice in the Sanatana Dharma, where you take these formless entities, these abstract energies that we have called as quote-unquote gods or deities. We symbolize them because these are energy principles that exist inside our body. These are energy centers, not just principles or not just concepts. These are actual centers that exist inside our body, whether it is the grahas or planets that we talk about, that we propitiate, whether it is a Shiva consciousness, whether it is the Devi, Shakti, whether it is Hanuman. All of these are energies inside our body. So in the ancient practice system, what they said is, if these are so abstract inside, why not symbolize them in an idol in front and then practice communicating with that idol? In other words, subconsciously and unconsciously, you're actually tuning into the energy center within, but externally, you are doing what is called a traditional form of worshipping, of reverentially communicating with these energies. So we call that Upasana Marga, Upasana Yoga, which involves a lot of mantras and japas and chanting. So chants will change with every puja session. There will be chants for different planets, different energy centers in the body, different deities and so on. We will learn that as we launch different puja sessions and as we go along. Hopefully you'll find that very interesting and you will have a lot to learn from them. Kaivalya Marga classes. Kaivalya Marga is the path to Kaivalya. Kaivalya is oneness, the ultimate path to oneness. So we have the practical part of Kaivalya Marga, which is the yoga classes, where you first prepare the Annamaya Kosha, the body, the physical sheath, and the Pranamaya Kosha, learning pranayama. Then when we enter the Manomaya Kosha, the mind sheath, and then the intuition and all of that, very much more subtler parts of our own personality, then we need to understand a lot more philosophy in which yoga is presented. The canopy, that's why I said in the broad canopy of Sanatana Dharma, there is this philosophy of Vedanta which talks about tapping into your own inner resources. So Kaivalya Marga classes are theoretical in nature, but there'll be a lot of practical parts of it, because we're going to talk about learning pranayama the right way, how to sit in meditation, what are the meditation techniques that you can involve or practice to go within, all based on traditional yoga, correct? So there will be a lot of theory, a lot of concepts, a lot of deeper understanding of what are these 5 elements, how are they existing in our body, what is our connection with the cosmos, how is all of this Vedanta and yoga, what are they trying to teach us, and then how can I take all that into my everyday yoga practice, where I bring that into a practical component. So this is how, hopefully, I don't know, I'm hoping that I will be able to communicate these really abstract traditional concepts in manner that you and I can relate and apply it in our everyday life. So eventually we begin to tap into our inner potential. That is the aim of yoga. That is the aim of all of these efforts, is to help you tap into your own inner potential and live a life that leads you to self-actualization. All these sessions are starting from June 9th, 2020. They will be launched every day of the week, Monday through Friday. We have Monday through Friday yoga classes, Monday through Friday Kaivalya Marga classes in the afternoon. The schedule is already there. Yoga classes at 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning, Eastern time zone. The Kaivalya Marga, the theory conceptual classes are at 4:30 to 5:30 in the evening. Then we have everyday satsang, 7 days a week, satsang with Sundar, where we take ancient chants, slokas, and we discover more meaning. And that is more of a devotion, where you open your heart and simply fall in love with this divine energy that is within you. So we are not doing any yoga classes as such now, or Kaivalya Marga classes on weekends, except for the satsang. The morning and afternoons are free. But however, these 2 days we may add on as we go along. We don't know. I don't want to take too much and not be able to deliver. This itself is a lot on our plate. So let's see how that goes. But as of now, Monday through Friday, busy time. And Saturday, Sundays are just the satsangs with Sundar that will continue in the evenings. All of these recordings will be available, even though they are launched as live sessions. If you're able to join a live session, great. If not, all of these are going to be recorded and available online under different playlists on our YouTube channel, which is KYG Yoga channel. That's the name of our channel on YouTube, or Sundar Iyer page on Facebook. So welcome, be part of this great this wonderful launch, where we revive these traditional concepts, apply it in our lives, and then share it with our children, share it with the community. So let's leave together, let's work, and let's leave a legacy behind for the future generations. Keep the flame of this traditional yoga and Vedanta that was taught by the yogis and the saints thousands of years ago. Namaste. Thank you for watching.